So if your marriage is decent and in order, and it follows the guidelines of what God has put, because the first institution was marriage that he put into place, will be okay. Just remember that, you can't put your husband down. A lot of women, Nathan and I have his password to his cell phone. He has a password to my cell phone. I don't look in his cell phone because I trust Nathan. Okay. I don't need to, he's not on Facebook, but all of these other things, I trust my husband. He wants to go out with his friends, he can go out with his friends, but I trust him. The question that you need to ask yourself, if you don't trust your husband, why would you marry him from Jump Street? Because that trust has to be in place when you got with him. It needed to be in place before he asked you, will you marry me? It needed to be in place before you walked down the aisle. Because getting married is not the end of the race. The end of the race is not marriage. Let me say that again. The end of the marriage is not, the end of the race is not marriage. Okay? Marriage is a marathon, and it starts the day you say, I do. Say it to your neighbor. It starts the day you say, I do. It is a marathon. It's something that you have to work on. It's something that you have to keep up. Make sure that you are in communication with your husband. Make sure that, you're just, the loyalty is there. You have good days, you have bad days. Some days you don't feel like being bothered, or you're upset or whatever. But the end goal for a wife is to make sure that her husband is taken care of, and that her husband feels like he is in charge and he is the head of household. Don't get it twisted. No woman, again, I'll say, is ever head of household unless you're the only one in the house. Okay, and you always want to make sure that he is first and not your children, because you don't want to be with someone for so long and then your kids grow up. Bible says that they are to leave and cleave. So they grow up, they leave, and then you have two people that are strangers in the house. You want to make sure that you're going on date nights. Men don't always have to plan the date nights, ladies. You can plan them. I just kidnapped Nate the other day and we went out. I kidnapped him from work and we went out after work. So you can do these, you can do these things. And when you do these things for your husband will definitely repay the favor. So you most definitely need to make sure that you are taking care of your duties as a wife. Okay, I'm not saying, this is not slave days. This is not 1930, the happy homemaker type of thing. But what I'm saying is you need to make sure that he is the king. He is the head of household. You are under him. Make sure that you're making all decisions together. Ultimately, it'll probably be his choice. But if you are in sync and you are together like this, then the choice that you're making should be the same. And if it's not, then again, communication. You need to make sure that you are listening, not hearing. When you hear something, that means that you just hear it and you're just going to go on with whatever you heard. When you're listening, you're hearing it, you're taking the information in, you're processing that information, and you are able to communicate whatever you need to say back to that person. So not hearing, you need to listen if there is a problem. And so does he. He definitely needs to make sure that he is listening to you as well. So when problems arise and when things arise and when you're not feeling your best or, what have you, you need to be able to communicate that with your BFFL, your best friend for life. I have best friends, got two of them. And my god sister, love them to death. But my husband is my best friend. He's the one I want to run to when I have information, like I said before. So he is my rock. He's my everything. And that is the way that you should feel about your spouse. You should want to make sure that you are doing what you need to do to make him happy. And then once he's feeling happy as being the man of the house, then everything else will fall into place. He would want to work overtime or get two jobs or do whatever to take care of the family, if he's able to do that. He wants to be with you all of the time. No man wants to be nagged constantly and just no man wants to hear that. No woman wants to hear that. So, at this point, as I say, Nathan, in our life is, our children are 16 and 19. Then we have our dog, and she's 9. So now you're going to look forward, if you're not at this point, you're going to look forward to going on date nights. And date nights are an important thing in your marriage, whether you have a 16 and 19-year-old or whether you have a 6-month and a 9-year-old. Date nights are very, very, very important. Date nights give you a chance to stop and bring back together the love and the relationship that you and your husband have. So with that, ladies, I am just going to end this right now and just say, try to make sure that your husband is the king. Make him feel like he's the head of the household. And when those things are done, then he will in turn do the same thing for you. So it's like a give and take. Marriage is not 50-50. Let me say that again, please. Marriage is not 50-50. Marriage is 100-100. When I was in school, 50% is a fail. I ain't trying to fail in no marriage. So we give our 100%, he gives his 100%, and we come together because that's an A+, baby. And I need my marriage to be an A+ whenever you get done with it. And I want my husband to be him feel like he's an A+, and I want myself to feel like I'm an A+. So work together, ladies. Talk to your husbands. Pray for your husbands. Make sure that your husband realizes that he's the head of household. Don't degrade your husband. Don't put your husband down. If you have communication problems or if you're not getting something that you need, communicate. So those are the things that I just want to jump on here. I know, kind of rambling now, but just let you know that a marriage can be saved. It does work. Marriage does work, but it is, again, work. As Iyanla would say, you got to put in your work. You have to put in your work. And you put in hard work so you can play even harder. So thank you for listening to my video. Nathan and I, again, we love you guys. Thank you for, our page is boosting. We are now, again, on Twitter at Pillowtalk. We're going to be doing some Periscope, which is live filming. Instagram, I will have up little blooper reels. So we've had up some bloopers. And my Instagram is Nate's Soulmate. So that's my Instagram if you want to see some little funny bloopers. And remember that Twitter only has so many characters, so we can only do so many things. So there'll be some things on here that might not be on Twitter. So again, we love you. We appreciate you. We are so humbled by this ministry. We praise God for this ministry. We praise God for you. We praise God that we are vessels to help other people to have a marriage like us. And with that, I'm going to say bye and keep that pillow talk coming. Talk to you later.